أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. We are already late, so let's just jump into the topic. So, Bismillah.
أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون.
So, do you know how to read English? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We have to prove it.
What? Did you then think that we had created you in vain and that you shall not be returned to us?
So, one of the ways, the important principles in understanding the Quran says that first addresses our rational, if you like, human side and says, did you think that we have created you in vain? So when we read the Quran, we have to understand, we have to bear in mind that when Quran says something, it doesn't mean that that is God's opinion and we have to just support it. It is a suggestion to us. And I have to take notice of it and say that, oh, did I really think that I am created in vain? So the second stage is, Quran says, we have created you. Yeah, that's simply majestic we or whatever, but God says, I created you. So is it really God that who created me? But first, I have to question, is my creation or is my being in vain or not? That's a suggestion from the Quran. Is it in vain or not? It means I have to think about it, or I should have already thought about it. Have we? Have we thought about it? Who thought? Whether my existence is in vain or for a purpose. Don't borrow the language saying that, oh, God created us to worship him alone. So we are created to worship God, but we've never thought whether my existence is in vain or not. My existence. Have you spent any minute on it? Somebody says no. Okay, you are not alone. I join you. So another person, anybody, I did. Anybody, please? Anybody? Just I thought about my existence, my being, whether it is in vain or meaningful. Somebody says, I did. Let us hear her. I think you said the same. Yeah? You did. Good. But which kind of experience was it? Would you like to share your experience with us? If it is not very personal. No, you can say I cried at the end, or I didn't cry. All right, you can omit that part.
It was more like an existential crisis that lasted many years and that brought me actually to Islam when I was exploring many different philosophies and belief systems, and none of them had a conclusion that was satisfying to me somehow. I don't know how to explain it. But I did think about this question a lot and came to the conclusion that our existence is deeply meaningful and that everything we do is meaningful. But I only came to that conclusion through Islam. And
That's the conclusion now. First, you contemplated on your being here.
yes, for many years.
So what does, for example, existing in as I am mean for me? Without referring it to any religion or any kind of I don't know, ideology, anything, philosophy or anything. So just but I think we have to congratulate this. It is so you took it seriously. Your existence, nothing to do with religion.
Oh no, that was the end result.
No, of course, if your conclusion about any religion, this or that, disregard, that's not important. But what is important, have we ever reflected on our being, whether it is, what does it mean that I exist? Did you do the
I have a
same?
question.
You have a
I
question?
do very briefly.
Yeah.
When you say reflect on our being, as in ourself,
Mhm.
could you be more specific? Our being emotionally, intellectually, our physical self. You know, I am a human being. That's an animal or a thing, plant. I have my being as far as my intellectual capacity. Could you explain, unpack that a little bit, if it is relevant to this?
It is. Because no one can say that our being can be divided into emotional being, intellectual being, physical, biological being. You can. They work all together. That's all together make us who we are, human beings. So as we are, of course, I have to say my hands, my body, and also the most important thing is, it is not only for today that I'm going to say, I've been saying this, the most important value we have, according to some people, iman, belief. No. Consciousness. Consciousness of one's existence, or consciousness of the existence itself. The most important thing. If somebody as a human being doesn't use his consciousness of his own existence, and also another thing, consciousness of the existence of our consciousness. Oh, I am aware of existence. How come? How come that I am aware of my own existence? If these foundations lack, I don't know really what religion is for or ideologies are for. Baseless. It's disappointing, is it? So consciousness is related to existence. So it is easy to say that this is a pair of glasses. It's easy to say, but to be aware that it exists, is a huge question. It is not really disappointing or any cause of pessimism that, I don't know. No. Just think about it. Because we human beings are given the ability to think about our own existence. So everything starts from there. So when we read the Quran, somebody wanted to ask the question before I jump into the verse going back to the verse.
Most people maybe not consciously thought about their existence and if it's meaningful or in vain. But if you ask anybody, they would say they don't want their life to be in vain. They want their life to have meaning.
Correct. So this is approaching the matter from negation. So negating, denying is different from confirming, approving. So negation cannot be the evidence for your confirmation. So this may sound a little bit philosophical, something like, you have to think about it, but it's not that simple. We usually don't negate because we have no evidence to negate something. So, yeah. But we have to have the evidence to confirm it. For example, usually people don't deny that there is a creator. So they say, well, if they say so, there must be something. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there must be something creator. Oh, it makes sense because universe is such a wonderful thing, So I cannot really refer it to a vain thing. It is so meaningful, good, beautiful. Okay, I don't deny. How about confirming? Is that a different process? If you say negating it works on this side, confirming works on this side, just opposite direction. You have to have evidence, you have to have confidence in order to confirm it. But in order to not deny it or negate it, you don't have to have the evidence. Maybe the lack of evidence is enough for not denying. Do you understand? Lack of evidence is enough for not denying. But lack of evidence is never enough or nothing to do with confirming. Confirming can only be possible through evidence and really being confident about your conclusion. So negating means if you come in, with a news to me, I said, okay, you are a nice guy. I don't see why you should tell me the lie. You should tell me any lie. So I accept it. And I said, Ihab said, so, it must be so. Okay, I don't negate it. But when it comes to confirmation, if they say, take me to court and say that, have you really saw it, experienced it? Have you really seen it, experienced it? What Ihab claimed to have seen it or experienced it? I said, no, I take it for granted that Ihab is not a liar. So I don't see why he should tell me a lie. That's why I accepted it. It is not belief. So what is dangerous here for all of us, if we are careful, Prophet Muhammad or somebody was a very nice man. Why should he tell a lie? That's why I believe in him is nothing more than negating him, rejecting him. Confirmation needs another step, not another step, another process of thinking and investigating. So belief is the result of investigation. Confirmation is the, not confirmation. Negating is the lack of investigation. Get it? Very difficult, very different. That's why in this, among the serious people, inkar in Arabic, nakr, inkar, munkar, rejection is different. Lack of rejection is different. Not rejecting is different from belief, iman. Iman is not lack of rejection. So we have to work on it. It is a very serious subject, very serious subject. We have to really take it seriously and think about it. What the Quran also says, did you then think that we had created you in vain? I take the Quranic guidance saying that, oh, I should have thought about my existence, whether I exist in vain or not. And then second step comes in. The text says, we have created it. It means there is a conscious will behind your existence now. If you conclude that my existence is not in vain, so what is the source of it then? Meaningful? It is meaningful. What is the source of it then? I have to go in another process. That's how we should read the Quran. It is easy, it's not easy. It's easy to say, oh, that God says, he has not created anything in vain. So my creation must be not in vain as well. That is the imitation of the Quran, not confirmation of it. In order to confirm it, you have to follow another process. Take the guidance from your perspective and go and confirm it. Investigate it. But this sentence is, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't think about your existence. On the contrary, you should think about your existence. On the contrary. Now, the mic is yours, sir.
Sorry, I'm a little sick right now. But just so I can have a more concrete example of affirmation and negation. Like I know from my personal experience, affirmation to me comes when I look at like stars, right? For whatever reason, every time I look at stars, it puts me in a place, right, where I start to think about my existence. However, I do also feel that I could have gone either way. I could look at stars and affirm something greater, or I can look at stars and negate that there's ever really a purpose behind any of this, especially if, say, like, I like stars, I study a little bit of physics, a little bit of astronomy. What is it that, like, sort of I could go either way. I could either continue going forward and say, okay, I might know all of this, but there's still something more to it. But at the same time, there's also a propensity that I stop at a certain place and no longer ask any questions. So I guess my question is, like, where does that sort of break come in? Like, why is it that some people can continue questioning while others just leave it?
So in principle, we don't speak on behalf of others. Yeah. So yourself.
So yeah.
But now in this verse, in this particular verse that I have selected from among others as well. So this verse emphasizes on man's own existence. Just the following verse, God willing, we will come to that. Hopefully, that it emphasizes on the existence of the creation, or from God's speech is creation. From my is existence, and then whether it is question whether it is a creation or not. It means there is a purpose behind its existence, and a purposeful conscious will has decided to make it exist. That is creation. So it means it is the object, it has been brought into existence by a conscious choice. That is creation. If I take the universe as a static, referring to your earlier discussion today, as a static being, you don't have to refer it as a creation. It exists as it is, that's it. It means seeing the world in space, but not time. So the time is there, everybody knows. Yeah, we are experiencing the continuation of the act of creation. So we say, oh, it is something consciously, deliberately renewing the existence. So the creation comes into discussion. So in this particular verse, God is emphasizing, saying that, or the Quran is emphasizing and saying that we have created you, but not in vain. So I have to think about my existence. Well, some people carry on, some people stop. I don't know. I should not stop. I should use my human capacities, as lady said, human capacities all together at the same time. It is together. My emotion, my intelligence, my, I don't know, physical being, whatever you find in your, whatever you call it, I don't want to name it, you know, your spirit or your soul, whatever you are, whoever you are. So it is a great thing that we have to read the verses carefully and take it into heart and do it, and we will, by this way, we will establish the foundations of our confirmation, which is called belief. Or whatever you say, some people say faith, but it must be only confirmation. If it is not confirmation, it is not belief. It means there is blind imitation or blind acceptance, blind faith, they say, is not belief. Well, which is just imitation. Okay, so after it becomes very easy if you deliberately contemplate, reflect on your existence, say, is it meaningful or not? My existence is meaningful or not? If you find that everything is perfectly adjusted and in a wholesome way, it means in its how do you say, complicity, totality. Thank you. In its totality, it makes sense. It makes sense in its totality. So can I say that this is just meaningless thing? It is not meaningless. How can I say that it is meaningless to myself? But it needs reflection. Unfortunately, we don't refer this kind of activities anything to do with religion, anything to do with faith or belief. So religion is mostly taken for, unfortunately, rituals, some sort of ethical activities. And it is a big, if not insult, it's a reduction.
What if someone were to, introspect and come to the conclusion that their life is meaningless?
Okay, welcome. If he comes to the conclusion, if any man comes into the conclusion with no bias, it is good for him. I don't know. I can't, because with no bias means this, because we know that in history there are lots of well-known, renowned philosophers. They said, look, religion is false. Forget about it. That's a decision. Because they saw some institutions, we see as well, they shunned away from these institutions, maybe historical, maybe not historical, political reasons, economical reasons, exploitations. I don't know, a certain class of people impose themselves on other poor guys, poor people, and exploit their weakness, human fragility. So they exploit it. They threaten them by hell or punishment or excommunicating them. And they say, oh, this is a trick, huh? Religion is false. That's very common. And then what the core idea in the religion is belief in God. It means they call it, I don't know, or I don't agree with it. Something metaphysical, yep. Something, imaginary or mythical. So they say, we have nothing to do with metaphysics, because according to their understanding, metaphysics doesn't exist. If something doesn't exist, how can I accept it? Metaphysics, it means physics exists, metaphysics, anything that I cannot experience. So forget about it. There is no God, there is no creator. What shall I do now? And look at their existence with this assumption, with this bias attitude, if you look at your existence, yes, your existence looks meaningless. Why? Because I happen to be like this, and I'm going to disappear from the existence, go into annihilation, meaningless. I came from meaningless. We will study that. At the last phrase of the verse is this. We will go there. They are deep, the verses. When I start studying them, they
I
are
want to make sure you understood what I mean. I mean, my life itself, like I look at my own life and say, well, I didn't do anything important. I didn't.
No. That is something not related to your existence. That's your usage of your free will, that you have not fulfilled anything that you expected. We are not talking about that aspect of it. We are talking about the existence of it, because the subject is existence. So we are talking about existence. Whether my existence makes sense for me or not. That's my question. Then, if you decide that your existence is meaningful, then you have to exercise your free will in a meaningful way that will really satisfy your own feelings or your human qualities, that I have to do this and I'm doing it. Otherwise, if there is no base for your existence, then your life becomes meaningless, and you fall in a desperate situation not to do anything, because why should I do it? My existence is meaningless. Why should I bother doing about anything? Do you understand? That is the foundation of it. Existence is the foundation of everything.
So if the world existed without me, it probably would have been just the same. It wouldn't have changed at all. So can I conclude that my existence is not meaningful?
Why don't you think of your own existence? Because this assumption is baseless, illogical, because if world existed without me, it means if you were not here, you wouldn't be thinking about the existence of the world. Since you are here, you have to put yourself in the center of the universe. I exist, so I know that Riza exists and you exist. Definitely you exist. You are always here. Yeah. Good, very good. I'm very happy. Yeah. So you exist, and then the others exist, and my relationship with all this, the rest of the universe exists, and because of my existence, I acknowledge the existence of the universe. So you cannot say, if the world existed without me, there wouldn't be any difference, is a false assumption. And also inconsistent reasoning. Because only your existence makes the statement that without my existence, universe would mean nothing. Or the other way around. Without me, universe would be the same, so my existence is nothing. No, your existence is your existence. Think about it. So the Quran says, think about it. The second stage, before we go to second stage.
This is kind of a negation as well. I mean, they're rejecting that the world be meaningless, but you didn't prove the other point of view. So I mean, you didn't prove that it's meaningful. Rather, I mean,
you mean me?
I mean, for the sake of argument, that
Yeah.
for someone to say that the world is meaningless, simply because we say that they are rejecting the other side, that there's God and creation, and rejecting the idea of creation. But at the same time, your point of view here is that you're rejecting that the world be meaningless, but you didn't prove that it has a meaning.
Yeah. Our subject is this. We are studying this verse. Of course, we are not going to have a complete philosophy of model of thinking here, but our subject is how to read the Quran. When we read the Quran, how are we going to approach it? So this verse, by asking this question, did you think then that you are created in vain? So in order to follow the direction or the suggestions of this verse, I had to think about my existence. That's it.
Exactly. Back to this question, maybe for the sake of argument, you can say that, yeah, maybe it's in vain.
But
Maybe
if you
it's-
come to a conclusion like this, okay?
Yeah.
If you can
You know what I
come.
mean? That's, you say that, okay, maybe it's, when you think about it, that you think that I am the center of the universe and being existing here. I mean, religion should be like to counter the idea of this ego of that you are
Oh,
at the
no,
heart
no,
of
no,
it.
no.
No, I
Your
don't mean that.
existence is meaningful for you. Even your thoughts, the existence of your thought is meaningful for you. You have to think about it. We said consciousness, awareness of your existence counts. So use your consciousness of your existence, use it. We are not saying when you use it, you definitely, because of this and this and this, you can come to this conclusion. No, but just use it, because my fear is this. We come to this world, live 80 years, and die as a believer in any religion or none, but doesn't matter, without thinking that I exist. That is a very general thing. Not thinking my own existence and analyzing it. Quran is encouraging, think. Think. But, you know, it's okay, I found that certain tradition, wherever I am, maybe the tradition did not satisfy me, look for another tradition, and okay, this is better, I'm following it. If just for the sake of following it, it means nothing. So we have to think. The Quran says we have to think. Now, that's the point. We have not demonstrated when anything here, or it is not our subject really demonstrated, to demonstrate that we are meaningful. Come on. You cannot say, because it is subjective. What is you? Human beings have to think about their existence. It's not subjective. That's my reality, but I don't use it. But coming to a conclusion after reflecting on it is subjective to you, to me. So if someone says, I really thought about myself, taking Hobbes' question into account and saying that, look, without being biased, so religion is something to be get rid of. God is just a made-up story. Yeah, I'm not going to buy this. And there is nothing, so I have to explain the universe now. That is a biased attitude. Equally biased if we say that, no, in my religion says that the universe has been created by God. So I accept that this is created by God. Look, let me see what God has done. This is not reflection. That is equally biased. So we have to start from scratch. How? Use our intelligence or awareness, consciousness. Sorry, I made a mistake. Not intelligence. Now here, consciousness. So use my consciousness of my own existence. Start from there. Neither rejection nor blind imitation. Start from there. What does my existence mean for me? Then you will carry on. And the Quran, the verse, I'm jumping. Yeah, not jumping really, just passing into another stage of the verse. Now, you have created. Now the Quran says, we have created, but how we should read it? Am I really created? But it needs first that my existence is something. Yeah, something for me. So how can I explain this existence? Second stage, because the Quran says, we have created you. I say, just a minute. Is it really true that you have created me? It means, am I, or have I been created? Am I created? That's the way to read the Quran. Quran is urging us, the second stage is, first is think about your existence. The second is, whether you are created or not, think about it. Reflect on it. whether you are given existence or you just happen to be like that, in existence, or given existence. It means, do you really think that? Have you really thought about the agent in your existence which has decided about giving you existence? It means, very simple, can you explain your existence by itself? Very simple. By itself. I exist by myself. Itself. Can you explain that? Everybody should think about it. That's what the Quran is suggesting us.
So just another question, just going by that method, right? Like the Quran is asking, like, do I not believe that I have been created, right? But what about like the second part of this verse? Like, do I not think that I will be returned?
Oh, no, that we haven't come there.
Oh, so we're not going there?
No. So now we have gone step by step.
Okay. Just because it seems like to me.
Of course, but we haven't come there.
Okay.
We have never mentioned that. Yeah. We are just here, we had created. Yeah. And then it comes, the third stage. Thank you for bringing the subject to the last point. You shall not be returned to us. It means, the Quran says, if you think about your existence, and it is something valuable, something consciously happening here, and I understand, the Quran says you should come to the conclusion that your existence cannot happen by itself. It means you cannot explain your existence by referring to your existence. It is nonsense. It is just vicious circle of logic. So if you really understand that, which I tell you that that's the only way to explain your existence. So it means I cannot come into existence by myself. That is Quran's suggestion. It means you are given existence. It means your existence has been provided for you. So, by whom? That's another question, not related to our subject. So, when we solve this problem, it is not a problem really. It just needs that we have to reflect on it. It's not solving a problem. It is taking your existence seriously. And that is the core of religion or belief or your conclusion. Your conclusion. The core of everything. Take your existence seriously. Start from there. Don't imitate. Don't argue about, I don't know, according to this religion, this is right, this is wrong. Just a minute. Why are you talking about this? Why are you arguing about all this? Because this is my religion, this is. Where did you get this idea? No, the religion comes at the very end, not at the beginning. So don't argue about anything. Just come and concentrate on your existence, and then you will understand that the Quran says you will definitely understand that you are given existence. That's called creation. So it becomes very easy. What will happen to me? I was given existence. That's the Quran's suggestion, guidance. You have to think on this line. On this line. Now, if I am given existence, then human consciousness has another dimension. Very simple, in a very simple daily language. Where did I come from? And where am I going? It's inevitable. If I am given existence, all right. No, but at the same time, my existence has been subject to continuous change. It has been taken away. My babyhood is taken away. My childhood is taken away. My youth is taken away. I'm now given another kind of existence. What is going on? continuously renewal of existence I am subject to. So Quran says, you shall return to us. It means us. It's very simple. It's a very common logic in the Quranic teaching. Where you came from. Who gave you existence? Is taking your existence and replacing it with another one. That is a continuous coming and renewing, coming into existence and renewing it. So you can, the Quran says, look, think about it as well. Where are you going to? Some people think of I am going to in terms of death. Some people think of in terms of their youth or the stages of their life, their youth, their, I don't know, middle age and old age. What happened to my youth? If you look at the literature, if you look at the poems, most of the poems are about losing the youth, losing one's youth. People complain about it. Even if I am young now, I know that the time will come and I won't be young. That they say, I have lost my youth. And the Quran says this, where did you come from? Where are you returning? Not necessarily only at the level of death. Some people went, last year I was a different person. What happened to it? Where is it gone? So the Quran says, look, we created, you are gone back to us. It means we are giving you existence, we are again taking it and giving another existence. It means continuously operating on me. Because my existence is continuously, who will continue? Renewed. So some people, especially the actually very fine Muslim scholars, theologians, emphasized on this. Every moment, where I am coming from, where I am going, is the question. Two questions. So the Quran says, wherever you came from, we will be taken back to that source. So source is the source of every moment. Bringing into existence, creating, and taking back. So that is the argument in the Quran a lot. But we have to pay attention how to really read the verses. So the verses always call us to think about our reality and then come to a conclusion. Verses give us the way to think, to use our human abilities. Guidance is really important for me, this personal. Guidance. What shall I do? When you read this verse, you say, what will happen to me when I get old? Yeah. What happened to you when you were a baby? You didn't know anything. What happened to you? I always make this joke, and some people might have got really tired of it. Your mother, your father, your mother's mother, your mother's father, your father's father, your father's mother, all were taking care of you when you were a baby because you couldn't do anything. Who employed them? Who's paying for them? So think about it. When you get an old, all right, you will be taken care of because you are coming from a source who gives existence to the whole universe, and you are taken away and given another situation. And when you are taken away from existence, certain type of existence, by renewal, so that all the existence goes back to its own origin. Where is it? Where did it come from? You went there. That's Quranic argument. Think about it. If it makes sense, confirm it. If it doesn't make sense, reject it. Because you cannot really pretend, although it doesn't make sense, but I'm a Muslim, I have to confirm it. It's not confirmed. It's just verb or sentence said. Confirm it, confirm it. So you can understand that we came from him, we will return to him. Him, who's him? The one who gave me existence. But of course, we have to go through certain stages in order to reach a conclusion that my existence has been given to me. So same line of thought is applied in this sentence. Now we can read this. Now, who's going to read Arabic? Do you know Arabic?
Yeah.
Read it.
وما خلقنا السماء والأرض وما بينهما لاعبين.
What does it say? So you are not the only Egyptian. So, English translation? Okay.
And we did not create the heaven and earth, and that between them in idle play.
So, what is the difference between content-wise is the same, but one of them addressed the human beings and asked them to think about their own existence. In this verse is asking the existence of everything, heavens and earth, everything. So just idle play, it means really in vain, it means meaningless. It means you have to think about first starting from yourself and then the others, because we are able to think. We have the capacity to reflect on the existence of everything. It is inevitable. That's the foundation of anything you call it. I don't know why I keep using this word, religion, because my fear is this. Religion is used in a very loose sense that it represents nothing but one's culture. It is a horrible thing. The Quran, for example, those people who read the Quran says religion belongs to God, not belongs to your ancestors or your community or your society. So when you say that in our religion, it must be so, you are talking on behalf of God, man. Be careful. It's because saying that what belongs to God is bad. Oh, especially those people who know a little bit Arabic. And, you can say, Ammiya. Not you, this brother. No, we don't know what I mean. No, of course, everybody, we don't know, but I'm joking. You understand. So give a small break. So they say, it's in our religion, our Sharia, our religion, and we have to do this. It's haram if we don't do it. It is obligatory. You have to do that. What they're talking about, God's property, without even thinking that the owner of the thing is God. I'm talking about the property, yes. No. The owner of this religion is God. Yep. We know that. There are many verses in the Quran emphasizing on that this religion belongs to God. Lahu ad-dīna hunafa. It's a very common phrase. Now it is your turn. All right. Okay.
How do you define the word religion in this verse?
That's why we don't define.
Uh-huh.
But that is another thing. That's another subject. What is commonly known and people practice, not only Muslims, Catholics as well, they practice some rituals, they call it religion. What our problem is, don't become a part of this, how do you say that, group of people, not group of people, a certain attitude. Certain attitude. Everybody talks about religion and they say we are done. Because I accept religion. I'm not denying religion and I'm trying to confirm religion. I am done. Foundation? No foundation. Doesn't matter, regardless, Islam or Muslims or Catholics. Certain tradition is very, for them, important for religion. But religion starts here. When you really read the Quran doesn't really say about what to do, what not to do, about religions, rituals. Doesn't talk about them a lot. It doesn't mean that there is no ritual. That's something, another subject. What the main subject is, what the Quran is teaching, foundations of belief. It's consciousness of yourself, consciousness of the existence. So do you think this universe has been created for idle, meaningless? That is the religion. It means that is the religion. If we read the Quran says, if you don't pay attention to the existence of the heavens and the earth, whatever you do is meaningless, because you are taking the whole work of the creator as an idol, irrelevant, meaningless. No, maybe a little bit meaning, but really purposeless. I don't have to spend time on it. As if. But God keeps creating it, renewing it, and we say, I mean, when you look at the universe, if you say that it's created, so renewing it, demonstrating again and again and again, I pay no attention, but pay attention to only certain rituals. There is an imbalance. That's very dangerous. Foundations are left and emphasize on everything. So, for example, if you want to study really seriously a theology or something about belief system, what can they do? Well, it's a practical. Usually, they make you study or do a PhD in history of something. A scholar in Christianity, in Judaism, in Islam, when he studied, what was the circumstances he grew and developed his ideas? History. Under the name of studying theology. It's history. If you say, I'm going to study exactly what the Quran fundamentally teaches, what? Oneness, absoluteness of the Creator. That's fundamental everywhere in the Quran. They say, nowadays, no, we cannot really find fund for it. Do you understand? No, there is no fund, no sponsor. But if you go into conflict, yeah, shall I tell you something? I'm going to study the difference between Shiite and Sunnites, and the fund runs everywhere sponsorship. If you say, I'm going to study the Quranic main concept, La ilaha illallah, nothing is a creator but God, and I have to study it, not the history of it. What Maturidi Imam somebody said, narration. What you say, I don't know, I'm making an academic study. There's a trick, yeah? We should be very careful. So, if one says, and I study theology, I give no damn to it. I said, what do you think of your existence? If you are a theologian, you have to give an answer. First, you have to have you should have thought about it and establish the foundations of it. And well, I'm a Muslim. We follow Islamic tradition. In Islam, we believe definitely, God is one. And if someone says God is two, it is mushrik. The Quran rejects it. But lost narration. Not my conclusion. So The Quran says you don't have to be a scholar, you don't have to do any PhD, anything. You have to be a human being. Just to think, to use your human abilities. Right? Here it is. Is it an idle play that we are doing? The universe? What do you think of it? It means think about it, reflect on it. Yeah? Instead of, shall I, how do you say, somebody, some attitude, instead of sitting here and thinking vacuum, meditation, why don't you meditate about the creation of the things, existence of the thing, its relevance to you? Well, what does it mean that these things exist, and what does it mean to you? To me, sorry, to me. So how can I really locate my existence within the existence of the whole universe? Where am I standing within the universe and its meaning to me? It needs real reflection. The Quran is saying, do you think it's an idle thing we have done here? It means really just a meaningless play. Well, nothing to do with it, brother. Did you make your wudu properly? That is religion. Quran says, have you paid attention to the existence of the air molecule? I say, no, it's not about religion. It is something to do with science, philosophy. The good religion is you have to wash like this or like that, up to here, up to here. That is religion. Piety, brother. Do you understand? That's my fear, is losing the foundations of the teachings of the Quran or guidance of the Quran and making up our own preferences, priorities. That's very dangerous. What we are losing there. That's why for the new generation, always the new generation, when you are young also, when you were young, so very young, teenager. So it was the problem for you. But you omit it. You grow out of it. You stop questioning. You stop questioning. That's why we jump into, okay, I understand, I cannot deny religion, so I have to be a religious guy. So to be on the safe side, it's better to pray. If you don't pray, there's a huge and torment is waiting for me, oh God. So pray and finish. I'm done. The last thing, I'm done. How about the foundation? No. And you cannot really speak to your child or young generation. Let's talk about this word. That's the heart of the religion, if you want to investigate what religion is. Talking about the word. Did you have your breakfast today, your lunch today? What did you have? Such and such. Did you enjoy it? What does it mean? What does it mean to enjoy enjoy your lunch? What does enjoy mean? That is religion. We start from the last and say we are done. Of course, the last floor is there, foundation is not there. So pay attention to the Quran. It needs everybody. You cannot really expect that, no, which scholar teaches this? Let me go after him. This is your duty. You have to take it up. You have to take it up, and you have to take it seriously. Because that's your duty. And again, the Quran says, but think about it, whether it makes sense or not, you are created alone for your own being. First. So your being is the most important thing for you. How much you value your existence, only that much you value my existence or the existence of another object. You cannot go beyond your capacity. If you don't value your existence, how can you value the existence of a person or another creature next to you? Impossible. If you think that I'm just happen to be like this, of course, all the trees or the animals or the other objects, the stars that you love, everybody loves stars, by the way, I think. So they're not, nobody can love as much as you do. Okay, send your poem to him. You will say there are many star lovers. So these are the matters. And then you value them, then you respect me. If you don't value your existence, how can you value my existence? It is impossible. It is hypocrisy to say that I love humanity. Do you love your own being a human being? Huh? Do you? Have you ever thought about the importance of your being? So it is just rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. I love humanity. I love animals. You know, we have to protect animals. Have you thought of protecting your own existence? Another personal question. Another personal question. Do you see the very important point is always missing? Another thing. Jump. No, it is too late. Okay. Somebody?
I just wanted to go back to what you said about how do we value our own existence. Can we work on that? I mean, right now, I'm trying to figure out what
We
is
have
the
to think
value
about,
of
you know,
our existence.
You've got another 7 days for the until next week. Think about your existence and see whether it's valuable or not. It's precious or not. And then say, I find my own existence so precious, it must be Esma next to you. Her existence also must be so precious. So you can respect her. Otherwise, in the best interest of your state, you kill her. Do you understand that? Sorry? So I couldn't get it. I couldn't understand it.
So you have to be able to come to that, like you have to be able to find your own value outside of using the Quran, correct?
Outside?
Of using the Quran.
Is it?
Oh, well, it's up to you. It's up to you if you find a source that will really, it really guides you to explain everything related to your existence in a satisfactory way. Let me know, apart from the Quran. Let me know. Partial truths are not satisfactory. So everybody, any philosopher says something, definitely there is a truth in it. But 10%, 5%, 20%, not the whole truth. So the consistency we look for is, I personally, I'm sure you did too, but I cannot speak on your behalf, I found in the Quran. But why but? I see that the problem with the people who read the Quran lies here. They don't really read the Quran as it is supposed to be read, unfortunately. That's why we emphasize in our discussions always how the Quran should be read. We always go in an unconventional way. Do you notice that? Why? The Quran must be read in this way, so that you will confirm it. Otherwise, you will imitate it. When you imitate the Quran, Quran loses its function. When you confirm the Quran, it gains its real function. It becomes a guide for you, really. So one question there, and then this lady.
Things outside of itself. So
Quran
refers to things that we have to investigate outside. It points to things outside the Quran. So
outside the Quran. Okay.
Yeah,
let-
like
let
point
me
to something
see it.
other than
I
the
don't
Quran.
remember this, because this idea seems to be very alien, strange to me.
Maybe I'm
So,
not explaining it very well.
Maybe my expression was wrong, yeah. Because you know that my English is perfect, so. So I can explain everything in a perfect way. So you understand. Okay,
I mean,
Can
the
you-
idea is that what I understood is that we're not meant to be stuck, like just like memorizing and imitating like what's in the Quran, but to actually investigate what it says and investigate it outdoors, like outside in the world.
yeah, I mean, I think you are getting at this. If you are aligning your thought with what we have been discussing. So when you read the Quran, you get the guidance from the Quran and investigate in the creation, because creation is the laboratory of the Quran. The Quran is just an instruction book, but without the instruction book, you don't know how to use the laboratory. That's why, from one aspect, as far as our investigation field is concerned, universe, the existence, the universe is the lab. But as far as the instruction of the universe is concerned, the one who established the lab is or has provided a textbook for it, instruction book for it. So you read, I think you are referring to this. If I'm mistaken, forgive me and correct me. You read the Quran and what you do? Go back and investigate the creation. Why? Because the speaker is the one who is demonstrating the universe for you. By definition, this is the by definition. If you see any discrepancy, not coherence, they are not coherent, then either universe is not created by the speaker of the book, or the book is not the word of the one who created the universe. It's the same thing ultimately, you understand? So that's what we say, when you read something from the Quran, what you have to do, get the method from the Quran and turn to the creation and investigate it there, because you can only confirm what the Quran says through making an observation, investigation in the act of the one who speaks in the Quran. So they are so integral that you cannot separate them. You cannot separate Quran from the creation, then the creation from the Quran. Impossible. If someone says, I'm going to study the Quran, but never looks at the creation or considers the creation or verifies what the Quran says under the witnessing of the creation, this person is not reading the Quran. He is reading I don't know, a sacred book of his own culture. It's not the Quran, it's the speech of God, Kalamullah. It's the word of God. So word of the creator of the universe. Anybody? You want to say anything?
No, want to read or?
Oh, no, oh, okay, you can read. Reserve your right. But, okay. How you are going to read? I thought
Everyone
you
wants to
were
read.
asking
Oh, sorry.
But this maybe is a question. Okay.
Questions are better.
Okay, questions
Okay.
are safe.
Okay. So based on what both sisters said and what you said, don't we find that meaning of that my existence has a meaning, and because of that, Fariha's existence also has a meaning? From-
According to you, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you will have the right to say that Fahrenheit's
Yeah, according
existence
to me,
has a
her
meaning.
life is.
If you conclude that your existence has a meaning.
Okay, but can't we get this meaning from the book of the universe first? Then we can, we find it in words in the Quran, but first we can get to this meaning through looking at the
No.
universe, no?
Excuse me, I don't know your name, but I will refer to you as a lady or friend,
Laurel.
Laurel. As Laurel said, which perspective we are using, this emotions or intelligence or physical, everything is together. We cannot separate it. So, as far as you are concerned right now, you know that the universe is there. You know that the Quran is there. And the Quran says, I am the word of God. There are other books also, they say, I am the word of God too. Okay, read them. So, what we are doing here, we are studying the Quran. So, we are studying the Quran, seeing the consistency within the Quran. So, Quran is here. So, when you read the Quran, Quran says, I am the speech of the speech. No. Quran says, I am the speech of the creator of the universe. You cannot ignore any of them.
Unless I'm not a Muslim.
So I know that's nothing to do with Muslim. As a human being, you know that. So when you, this is the principle now. It is a good question, but we 8:30 now. So very good question. So I am a Muslim. I am not a Muslim. Regardless what we are doing here, how we should read the Quran. The problem with us is we don't know how to read the Quran, or we read the Quran in the wrong way mostly. So emphasis on this side. When you read the Quran, you should definitely bear in mind that the creator of the universe is speaking to me, and the universe is not for nothing, that idle play. It says, and you have to think about it. If you come to the same conclusion, yes, it is not a play at all. The universe is not a joke. It is really a serious matter. When you come to this conclusion, and then you have to go back to the Quran and say that, oh yeah, as you said, I agree with you. Another book may come up, which does actually, other books also come up and say that we are the speech of the creator of the universe. What you have to do, see the consistency. They have to be consistent with what you are observing and what they say. So if you find, good for you. So don't use, as Muslims, no, this language is false. No, but here is our reality, here. Here you are, we are reading the Quran and we are studying, especially emphasizing on the importance of the methodology in reading the Quran. So it's your turn, sir. Bismillah. Yeah.
أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى هو خلاق العليم. Is it not he who created the heavens and the earth, able to create the likes of them? Yes, and he is the known creator.
So I think we covered this. That's why, although the time is up, but I included that. We covered this. Are you aware of it? We covered this. Look at the same thing in the same, we have created the heavens and the earth. And the one who creates the heavens and the earth, is there any way that he is not able to create the likes of them? Yeah, is it possible? For the logic, can you say that he did this, but he cannot do it again? Is there any way? So, yes, he is the knowing creator. It means we have to see, I'll come to you. We have to see, I'm a bit hurrying, the time is up, some people look tired. So, we have to see whether, at the end of this, whether this creation is taking place within knowledge or not. It means knowingly, deliberately, consciously given existence, or just happened to be. I think that this is another dimension. Every word brings another dimension to human thought. So we can listen to you.
you kind of just nailed it by saying dimension. But I'm curious about this phrase, these two phrases. Is not he who created the heavens and earth able to create the likes of them? Is that question asking if he can create the heaven and earth, say that's right here, then is he also able to create another heavens and earth, and another heavens and earth, and another heavens and earth?
Mm.
So, is there a difference between him being able to do it or desiring to do it? Or being able to choose whether or not to do it?
Now, think about yourself from your perspective, or we have to think from our perspective. Now, I am looking at this universe. Mostly, we cover up that the reality that the things are being recreated, renewed. Whoever is doing this, creating this universe, if I understand that there is a creator, if I understand that. Of course, before this, we studied, that's why I didn't emphasize on it, whether it is created or not, we have to question. But let's assume that we did. And we understand then that this is created. So human mind comes where? Okay, do you think after I die, my existence again possible? And the Quran gives the hint that, look, the one who has created this universe, can he not recreate the like of it? Actually, this context is referring to particularly, but you can take it generally as well, particularly conferring to resurrection of the dead. So our main concern is in reality, we don't think about existence. We don't think about the existence of other things as well. We almost take them for granted. Their existence, we usually take their existence for granted. Here they are, here is the universe, but what will happen to me when I die? That is the main concern, everybody. Now, but some people solve the problem by running away from it. Don't mention that. Don't mention that. Yeah, just close your eyes. When it comes. You cannot do anything. Anyway, forget about it. Concentrate on your life now. But human consciousness, you are going to die. You know way to escape from it. Yeah. Then you see an old lady or old man, not necessarily, then an old guy who is just working with the cranes, with the help of the cranes. You just turn out. Yeah. Why? It reminds you that one day will come and you will be like that, huh? And then you will be put in graves. If you go and see the graves, no one visits the graves, almost. Because I lived somewhere nearby a grave, very, very famous Calvary grave, was a huge grave in Queens. My paradise. No one comes there, no one disturbs me. The huge place, green, breezy in summer, beautiful, no one comes there. Why? Whereas the downtown, the shopping center is full. Why? That's human reality. We run away from it. We know it. And we pretend as if we have not taken lots of it, pretend as if it doesn't exist. That is just cheating myself. So the Quran is preparing the minds. Look, not only your resurrection, look at the universe, you will see that the heavens and the earth has been resurrected every month. How can you say that my resurrection may not be possible? It's a very good reasoning. That's Quran. Asks you, tells you to consult your own quality and think about it yourself. Don't imitate me. Don't take me for granted and just say, Quran says so, my religion says so. We believe. I can say I. That's the trick. We believe in Islam that after we die, we will be resurrected. How? Quran says so. Do you know better than God? This is not an argument. It's a stupid language. So Quran, it doesn't say this. Quran says, look. When he says, I'm going to recreate you, it means I'm going to resurrect you. I'm going to give you your existence back again. You know, how do you know that? That the Quran says, look at the universe, what I have done. What I have been doing. Don't take me for granted because I said it. My witnesses are there. That's why maybe you are right there. Go back to the universe to see how the things are happening and what they are referring to. So again, the last sentence, we couldn't finish again. Okay, we are happy. I'm happy. I don't know about you. Do we study like that? Would you like to study the Quran like this, step by step, one verse by verse? So we have to bear in mind that never we can ignore the universe as far as any matter related to religion. As far as any matter related to religion, you have to study it in combination with the creation. Whoever ignores the creation ignores the religion. Because creation belongs to God, religion belongs to God. You cannot divide that into two. The God, the one God, or the God is the owner of the religion, and the universe's owner is, I don't know, I don't care. I care about religion. It's not religion. We have to wake up. And we keep repeating this, but so important. You see lots of books written, studying Quran, no universe mentioned. No witnessing of the universe is brought into discussion that this verse must be true because I looked at the creation, the universe. And I have seen this evidence there. This is the work of the one who is speaking. Combination is necessary. If other sources, which claim to be religious sources, may not be doing this, that's their problem. It's not the Quran's problem. Never. So, Bismillah. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر السورة. Somebody can call Ezan, please.